Hello, ActoSage here on the Sage channel. It is Sleep, Art, Game, and Eat. And today, I'm going to be crashing this big ship, which is the Mongrel Mega Destroyer. I originally didn't call it a Mega Destroyer, but after further thought, I decided I think it deserves that title. It's pretty damn large, and it has its places to respawn, sleep, and all that inside. So, I think it's deserving of that title. It even has its own little hangar bay. Anyway, let's cut to the chase. If you'd like to see a tour of this ship, there is indeed a link at the top left. It should be there right now. That'll take you to my full tour of it, or you could even look in the description. I have a link to my Steam workshop where you can get your hands on the ship yourself. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fly this ship out, and I'm actually going to see between the space there, between those two Sage stations. I'm going to try to fly the ship between those two. So I'm going to really quickly cut forward to once I've got this ship a decent space out and reasonably well lined up. And there we go, the ship's pretty much lined up enough that I could correct it the rest of the way. One thing we're getting right now, though, is a bit of lag because all these little ships flying out of the back, and oh, now that they're free and the game is no longer trying to calculate all those impacts and all the collision, of course the game ends up running a bit quicker. You can see those little dots on the right side, they're just floating off into space. They don't have any of their inertial dampeners or engines or anything early on for that matter, so they're going to just float away. Now, really quickly, we can start accelerating. This ship is probably my favorite for handling and one of my favorite ships just overall, because it can accelerate so quickly and turn so damn quickly that I actually think I might have a 1 in 100 chance of actually making it between those stations without a serious impact, compared to what would usually be a 1 in probably 1 million chance. So let's see, we're going pretty well. I think the bridge area and stuff might be too big to even fit through there no matter what. Come on, can we make it? Oh, so close. Oh, that would have been great. And indeed, I think the bridge area and the main weapons platform on the bottom part of the ship there was too wide to be able to fit through there, and we probably even scraped the bridge open here. If I was to actually really quickly, I'm going to level the ship out before I do this. But if I was to try to level the ship out now, and okay, get free a bit, turn to my left. If we hop out of this, now you can see that, oh, hey, how you doing, station? Feeling good? That's great. You've put a big old hole in the side of my ship here that wasn't there a minute ago. Let's hop back in that seat and keep on flying this thing. Let's see what other mayhem we can cause. Let's actually try to fit through here. Let's try to. I'm rotating clockwise right now. And that should give us some clearance. Now that we've made that big dent there, the bridge area might actually fit through. And I've impacted, okay, a lot there. Come on, come on. Yeah, there we go. And now you can see this monstrosity starting to, oh no, it's hit those antennas down below now. Well, maybe if I turn to my left, let's aim up a bit. There we go. A little hard controlling this in reverse. I'm pressing the Q there on accident. I meant to press E. That is going to haunt me, I think. Trying to... Okay, there we go. I think we're good now. If I can just continue to rotate the opposite direction that I think I should, I can be pretty good at this. There we go. I think we're going to be able to clear that now. Look at that. How cool is that to see that huge ship? Oh, fitting through there. Oh, those antennas, man, at the bottom of those stations. They're trouble. You could set up a pretty awesome obstacle course with those stations, probably, though. Let's just try to turn and force our way out of this. Maybe we can break free. I always love ships based off of Star Destroyers, which this ship is, and I've always loved Star Destroyers. Ever since I was a kid, I've watched the crap out of Star Wars. Apparently, I used to watch it every day after elementary school. Don't really remember it. Well, remembering it, watching it every time, but I remember the movie is what I'm trying to say. But I don't remember watching it every single day, which I apparently did. Anyway, there we go. I think we're able to break free now. We've sheared off like the whole back right side of the ship, which is actually causing our frame rate to drop to 5. Okay, it's gone back up to 10-ish or higher. And that's probably because all the bits that are now floating around back there, I still seem to be stuck. I'm very confused. How the heck am I stuck? Surely we should have sheared through anything. Oh, it's probably the very back of the ship with some engines there. Let's try rotating clockwise here and maybe just shake a bit. Maybe if we just shake around a bit. Yeah, there we go. I think we're free now. Yeah, there we go. I think we're free. Or not. I think we've snagged. How the... Okay, I'm aiming to my left and up. Surely we cannot still be snagged on this thing. Now let's just aim to the right. And of course, we're snagged on that more than we would be if it was just a ship, because those stations are indeed stations, which means when I hit them, they're not going to fly off. They're not going to get moved at all. They're just going to stick there and be a nuisance. I do hope soon that we will see these actual guns on these large ships functional. That way I can actually just use these stations as target practice as well as maybe obstacles. How am I still stuck? I see a little impacts there. Okay, there we go. I think we're for... Considering I'm holding W, we shouldn't be going down so much. Okay, there we go. Now we're definitely free, and we can actually see the damage that happened from that impact. Yeah, I'd say that was a failed attempt to get through that obstacle there. Let's really quickly stop our spin. I love how quickly, even with this damage, we've probably lost a fair few gyroscopes. We can even maneuver this ship pretty well. I love how quickly this ship works. Let's see. We got some serious damage here where storage stuff might have been compromised, but we definitely lost some turrets. And then back here, we've lost a lot of engine power. The very back of the engines are still there, but it looks like we've lost a fair few engines in this gap. We're still rotating too. Let's do another collision, but this time let's do it at, let's say, that asteroid. Let's try to line it up that way. The top of the ship will be the thing that impacts it. So really quickly, you can see we've already accelerated up to a pretty damn good speed. Let's disable our inertial dampeners. Now rotate the ship so that the big flat part is facing it. And any second now we should impact and be a very interesting spin of things. I say spin because it'll impact and probably toss us about a bit. Oh, we didn't end up in the spin as much as I expected. Probably because, yeah, we hit little asteroids, but not really. Okay, there we go. There's a bit of a spin as the front of the ship tilts about. And, okay, yep, there's a spin. I think it's actually reached the point where, remember, this game is in alpha. You can see the asteroid is going through the ship, but not actually causing collision. It's because it's having trouble keeping up with calculating absolutely all of that. Again, remember, game's in alpha. You're going to see stuff like that. Apparently, if I try to go forward, little tiny asteroids are now being calculated. And if I sit here long enough, those big ones might actually be calculated too. Really quickly, let's hop out of here. Now let's actually take a run to the back of this ship and see what that looks like up close. And if we're lucky, it'll start calculating the collisions as we get up there, and we'll see some interesting stuff happen. And you can see right here, there's some shearing going on, but as you can see, the asteroid, well, the ship is moving away from the large asteroid, which makes it look like it's moving since we appear to be stationary. But no collision is being detected. Let's really quickly, you can see this whole area here has been completely devastated. There's no weapons. We actually got pretty lucky that the bridge is mostly intact, even though the whole section there was completely wiped out. And you can see the asteroid has indeed impacted through most of this. I figure while this is here, let's go ahead and grab an attack ship. Where did I put those buggers? Alright, I found them. They're over where I'm going right now. I just love seeing that big ship sitting there. It looks so strange. You'd be like, is that a weird station or something? And then you go up to it and you notice, oh right, it's been torn up like crazy. There they are. There's those little attack ships I got. I thought they were next to this asteroid. Got turned around. Anyway, I have two ships here. One of them is the ITSE fighter, the main one I like the most, and then another one is the small Falcon fighter. And I'm actually going to take this one because it has far more firepower on it, but still has a decent amount of handling. Here we go, we can start firing at it. Of course, these guns, I believe their main purpose, as do a lot of people believe, are just for ship-to-ship firing. So they're not actually probably going to do anything but dent the metal slightly, but this ship has 4 missile launchers. And we can start launching those at it. I'll probably wait till we get closer to really do much shooting at it. Ooh, that impact took a long time. Yeah, we were way out there. And of course, we're still getting lag and stuff because the game is trying to calculate all those collisions. You can see some damage starting to happen over here now, if you look right around there, and see the damage is indeed happening very, very slowly. I expected this sort of to do what the small ship did, where it suddenly calculates all the damage and tosses the ship out into space, but it looks like it hasn't done that yet, and if it is going to, well, I'd have expected it. So I'm starting to think this is just going to sit here. So let's start launching missiles, and let's see if maybe we can sever actually the bit that's... What the hell just happened? Oh, seriously? Seriously? A piece of shrapnel took out my cockpit? Alright. See, this is why I always put my cockpits farther back in those little tiny safe areas. They need to have different types of cockpit too. Not just these little tiny dinky ones. They need to have ones that actually look like a sort of futuristic safe space cockpit. There we go. So let's I guess back up and continue shooting a little bit, and you can see these missiles eat through stuff, but of course something that they changed semi-recently was the fact that these missiles can no longer seem to destroy any specific blocks. They can only really deform metal, so we're not able to destroy any of the engine blocks, we're just able to break through this thing. Actually, let's fly it into the hangar if the hangar's still mostly there. Yeah, it's mostly there. Let's just fly right up in there as if an enemy ship had decided that while this ship was stationed or under repairs or even just crashed, someone decided to fly into the, oh no, middle of the ship. I think my ship might have been a bit wider than I thought it was. Yeah, my ship was a bit wider than I thought it was. Maybe we'll fit in like this. I think we'll fit like that. Yeah, there we go. And from here we can just fly through the center of the Mongrel and take it out. This would be hell on earth for anybody on board the ship, even though it looks like the middle of the ship might have already been devastated by this asteroid. And of course with these missiles we can actually burn our way through the asteroid, so we could be making our own passageway. You can see the door floating free there. I've destroyed everything around it. Wow. Yep, I'd say pretty chaotic in here. Bits of asteroid and ship going everywhere, and I've done it again. Oh my god, I think I might have done something worse that time. Yeah, I definitely did. If you look there, the missiles definitely hit in front of me and just destroyed the front of the ship. So yeah, so much for that little fighter. You can see some of the strangeness, very strangeness going on here. Remember the game's in alpha, so we're ending up with a lot of weirdness, where the asteroid should be shearing and destroying the ship, but it's not. Let's get back to the cockpit really quickly and try to just get the ship free. You can see it's started to shear and destroy stuff, but it didn't fling it free, so maybe we can just fly free now. If I can get out of here. Alrighty, so into the cockpit we go. We can tell we did lose a few gyros there. I don't think we actually lost as many as I originally thought. Our engines should be slightly less effective because of the bombing and all that. Or not really even the bombing that we just did, but just because of the impact. Now let's just try to get free here. As we move, we're impacting that small asteroid to the front left there, but I think I try to move us to the side a bit and turn us to the right. Try not to go forward too much. We should be able to start prying ourselves free of that little one, and it doesn't seem to be working at all. I actually have my reverse engines now on, and I'm trying to move down to my right. And see all sorts of engines firing all over the place inside the broken open part of the ship in the back there. And it looks like we're starting to get free from the large asteroid. There's a lot of damage happening. Ooh, the bottom of the ship is actually spinning upwards a bit more than I expected. Maybe if we, ooh no, that's not good. I'm trying to hit my reverse engines, but they don't seem to be working at all. We're impacting all over the place now. Definitely looks like it's finished calculating a lot of the damage that we had before, and now it's sort of caught up and said, oh yeah, I can calculate anything you try to move. I seem to be stuck, like seriously stuck here. My engines aren't really doing anything. I have movement, but it says it's 0.02, so that's pretty much negligible. And we're having impact damage all over the place. Let's just try turning. Let's just try turning. Hopefully it'll shear free. It'll destroy whatever is impacted and clipping through the asteroid. And then it'll say, okay, yep, you're free. You can float away now. Hopefully. That's my hope. If not, we're going to be stuck here forever. Alright, so that maneuver didn't work too well. I think I've just flown more of the ship into the asteroid than was even in it before. If not, I'm at least back where I was. So we're stuck here. We're not able to go anywhere. My forward engines aren't even able to get us free. Now, we're actually moving a little bit. Maybe we can get free. Can we just shear free? Lose the back half of the ship, where we have all of our engines, and then leave the front half just drifting around in the galaxy? That probably wouldn't work well. If this ship was really following physics, so the back engine's pushing there... if it was really following physics, what the hell am I saying? It wouldn't have clipped through the asteroid in the first place. Okay, the ship's stuck. I think we've lost it. Yeah, we've lost the ship. What I'm going to do now is actually just copy the ship so we can see the damage. Alrighty, so what's happened now is I've rather foolishly tried to copy the ship while I was inside it, realized that wouldn't work, pressed escape, and now I can't move. You can see my speed goes, and this is sort of like a server glitch, and I think this has to do with the fact that they have some sort of multiplayer setup actually built into the game, but it's basically like you're always playing on a multiplayer server, if I was to guess how this is working. And what's happened now is I've sort of disconnected from the server inside the own machine because the server has crashed while trying to calculate everything. Which means, well, it's the same thing in Minecraft. When you get disconnected from a server, sometimes you're able to stand around for a bit, but you're not able to actually do anything. I'm destroying these blocks, but I bet you they still count as there. I bet you they still do. Maybe if I can get back in the control panel. Oh, I can, and then get out again. Maybe it'll prove me wrong. Nope, looks about like... yeah, I can't move, can't do anything. Alrighty, so I'm back. I got quite lucky there. It was glitched out and everything, and I was about to wrap up the video, and I copied it again, and I said, hey, let's just try exiting and repasting, even though I was inside the ship when I copied it. Well, for some reason, when I went to paste it, it was outside of the... I was outside the ship. I was able to paste it basically from where I'm standing now. Something else strange, though, is I still wasn't able to move, so I had to restart the game. For some reason that was going on, no idea why. Anyway, here we go. We can fully survey the damage of the ship now. The center point, that asteroid went a lot farther through than I thought. That asteroid went all the way from one side of the ship out through the bottom firing area of the ship. We've lost, looks like, a quarter of the guns down there. I think it's about right, a quarter of the guns right there, just gone. You can see a lot of damage ripped up all through here. If we were to fly over to the hangar bay area, we could probably, well actually we can get to the hangar bay through here, somewhere we shouldn't be able to get to it through. You can see basically all of the floors have been torn up. The main hallway that led to all the civilian living area, or I say civilian, the resting areas and stuff for the crew, it's gone, including most of those areas. They're all smashed up. If we were to head to the front of the ship through these passageways over here, I'd say these are probably in some trouble too. You can see the central hallway connector right here is completely ripped up. The other side, these are the ways that lead down the sides of the ship. They're even torn open in actually quite a beautiful way until they just don't exist anymore, and I keep bumping stuff. A lot of missing guns. Engines over here are pretty good, which means the ship could probably still move. It's lost a lot of weight too, so it might even move faster than it did before. And actually, we got a ton of engines over here. Well, we lost a few, but for the most part, we got a lot of working engines there. Whole ship's been torn up pretty good, though. I'd say it would definitely probably be a retired ship, with most of it, well, with like a quarter of its weapon systems gone or more. Probably not be the most useful. The weapon storage here is still good, though. That's something. And what about the weapon storage down here? Well, for the most part, it's still good, too. If these were combustible, we would probably maybe lost this whole area here, but maybe not. Let's see, if we were to head up here now, is if everything was alright, like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Oh, the guns still work here. Hey, this is fine. Little damage there. Hey, that's pretty good. Actually, this whole hallway, you could just think, hey, maybe it's alright until you get to here and realize that the connectors to the bridge and everything are in a world of hurt, but hey, most of the ship is actually pretty good on the inside, at least the combat area, so maybe this ship could still be combat ready. No idea where its crew would sleep, and it definitely is incredibly more weakened and susceptible to attack, but hey, if it was needed in a pinch, it could still continue fighting in a huge dogfight, and I guess that's where this damage would come from. If it was still this heavily damaged, it could still keep on going, even though the bridge is at a top point. Maybe one day we'll see shield generators in the game, eh? And by the way I like shield generators to work, I'm just going to go ahead and explain that right now. Wow, as I fly this ship about, and shockingly it does still maneuver, and still work pretty well, even though it looks like we've lost... Oh wait, inertial damper's on. No, we still got all the working engines. Well, I say all of them, but most of them. Anyway, the way I would want shield generators to work, let's assume this here is a shield generator. Let me turn off mirroring really quickly. There we go. So let's assume this here is a shield generator. What I would want is basically you put the shield generator on the surface like this. You wouldn't be able to put it down under hidden away. You'd actually have to have it on the surface, but it could be flush. And what it would do is project up one block, and then above that, basically probably an area about 2 blocks to preferably even 3 blocks out in each direction, where it would just shoot out 1, 2, 3 like that, and then it would be a square area, of course, which that area would be shielded. Maybe even just a 1 block out, so like a tiny little area like this would be shielded, but it would be above. So if an enemy came in along the side and you didn't have enough shield generators to cover everything, they could fire under it and take the shield generator out. Or of course, maybe you could have it so enough damage is done to the shield, it goes out. Anyway, I just felt like sharing that, and here's the ship as it slowly turns. The gyroscopes didn't feel fit to stop its automatic turn for some silly reason, even though I know I could have corrected it myself. Anyway, thanks a bunch for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.